What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 2 of my 3-part series on my journey through 75 Hard. Today we're going to talk about each and every aspect of the program and what was hard for me, what was easy, what the biggest takeaway was. It's super important to dive into this and how I managed to complete the program in one shot. So stay tuned and we'll dive in. Guys, Jeremy Kane with the Realtor Playbook, coming to you with a little self-development today. As a coach, I love helping people build their business, and I think that self-improvement is something that I always overlooked. I've always been really good at self-development for my teams and my players, but this is something that absolutely dialed in my real estate business and can't wait to share it with you. As always, please like, comment, subscribe. If you're interested in booking a call with my life-changing group, the eXp Wolfpack, please do so right here, and let's dive in. All right, so the first thing I do, and I'll just go through in sequential order with how I did this during my 75 Hard journey, and as I continue to do most of these things every day, I'm very regimented, so I do them at the same time. And the first thing I would do is wake up at 5 in the morning, maybe 5:30 sometimes if I was a little tired, but I would read 10 pages of a book. And reading 10 pages of a book was something that I kind of had picked up on, but I definitely wasn't doing it every single day. It's a nonfiction book, and it really, changed my perspective and let me in on a lot of things that, crazy amounts. And just 10 pages a day, I think I finished 3.5 books while I was on the program. And these self-help books, and The Power of One More by Ed Milet, the 75 Hard book by Andy Frisella, 177 Secrets of the Mentally Tough. And actually I read some book about, eating good food, which was absolutely brutal, but I had to finish it. So I did that during 75 Hard as well. So that was something that I didn't think was that important. I was that kid that didn't read a book from 3rd grade all the way through my college degree, cover to cover. And now I'm reading every single day. And the fact that I'm learning and getting different ideas and instilling all of this stuff into my business is amazing in my life. So reading was something that I didn't really love. I did do it first thing in the morning because I felt like if I let it pass and I put it off, I didn't want to be that person. I heard a ton of stories of people that be like, they woke up at, the next morning with their book in their hand, they'd only read 7 pages. So I knew that was something that probably the hardest thing for me to do was read. So I did it very first thing in the morning. My closest failure with this reading piece was actually on day 74. I was reading, I was really regimented about the 10 pages and sometimes would read a little more, but never less. And I read a book and I set the book down. And then I was like, wait, that was only 8 pages because I knew the number. Like if I was started at 175, I knew I had to get to 185 or whatever that number was, and I just set the book down and I picked it back up and I was like, oh, I need to read 2 pages still. And then actually after the 9th page, I set it down again, and it was like something was like trying to get me to fail. And so I realized that, and I really focused in. I read a few more pages just to make sure I wasn't, crazy. But that was my closest failure with the reading. There was only one time where I didn't read very first thing when I woke up in the whole 75. My main takeaway from reading is just that self-development, taking another aspect, taking someone's opinion, learning from mentors and people that have done it and are successful and where I want to be, and really having them speak into my life through books was my biggest takeaway and really helped me kind of on my self-development journey as we went through the program. The next thing I did every day was do my workout. I have a home gym here, so by 5:30 or 6, I'm in the gym doing a 45-minute workout. I did a hybrid of weights. I did one whole 45-minute weight workout a week, one whole Peloton workout a week. I did abs every single day, and then all the other days I would do a hybrid where I did 25 minutes of lifting and 20 minutes on the Peloton. And that was pretty cool because I could change it up. I could work different muscle groups, and it got it done. And this was something that I knew I had to, since there was 2, I knew I had to get it done early. So right after I read, literally, filled up my water, got on the scale, weighed myself, gave me a little bit of pick me up usually as I lost some weight during the journey. So that was the biggest piece for me is getting that workout done. And I usually did the indoor workout in my garage, and did that first and then the outdoor workout. There was 1 or 2 times where I had kind of a weird day where I needed to get my outdoor workout in. I did a lot of walks, right? With a lot of walks with the family, a lot of walks around, usually about 2.5, 3 miles in 45 minutes. Held a pretty good pace, broke a sweat every once in a while. And so that was my second outdoor workout. And that was really cool. It was one of the coolest things, and probably my biggest takeaway of the workouts was my 4-year-old was like pretty stubborn. She is pretty stubborn, and she would come on the walks with me on the weekends or, every once in a while. And she was walking at first, and it was brutal, right? 2.5, 3 miles for those little legs. She was not about it. In the process of this, I purchased the Power List from Andy Frisella for the kids, and they literally dove right into it. They were excited about it. And one of my daughter's things was learn how to ride her scooter better so that she could go on the walks with the scooter because she could get it done easier. And so within a week, she was doing the scooter. We still had a little bit of, this is so hot. It was the middle of the summer, so we struggled with that. But by the end, she was like, okay, we're going on this 45-minute walk. I will tell you that both of my kids, who are ultra supportive and went on these walks with me every once in a while and, always made sure I was eating healthy and those things. The biggest takeaway was I was like, well, we're going to continue doing this. And they're like, no, we can't go on 45-minute walks. So that was kind of funny. So that was the workout stuff. Closest failure I had for the workouts. This is kind of I knew that this was going to be the thing because it was the longest time commitment. And so there wasn't really anything close to failure here. Like I said, I did complete my latest outdoor workout at like 10:56, I think, one night, which is a little later. I usually am sleeping by then, but that was only one time. I did do a few in the dark as the summer got busy and that kind of stuff. But that was my closest failure, would be probably just getting that in pretty late at night. But it was pretty easy. Like once I decided to do something, I was like, okay, I got to get these workouts in no matter what. So there was times where I was dead tired, put my kids to bed, and I was like, well, we got to go on a walk, grab the dog and roll. So that was the workout piece. What I thought was going to be the hardest piece was probably not in the end the hardest piece, because once I set my mind to it, I got that block. I don't usually start working at 5:30 or 6 in the morning. So I was able to get one out of the way, and then it was just about fitting the other one in with my schedule. And there was no outdoor workouts with crazy temperature fluctuations. Obviously, there was a couple hot days in July. It rained a few times, but there was never any like torrential downpours or tornadoes or anything. As we continue through the phases, obviously there will be different seasons. And I actually hope there's some weather that, we can challenge myself with to get out there and actually do the program and do the workout. All right. The next thing I did was the progress picture. And this was something that I would literally read, work out, either come in if my family was awake and have breakfast with them, do our gratitudes, all that stuff. Or if they weren't awake, I would just go straight to the shower. Right before I shower, boom, take that progress picture right in front of the mirror. Every single one, except for when I was at the lake house, was taken in the same mirror about the same time of day. Put it into the app, as that's the secret from episode 1, is get the app. That was really able to. So the cool part was I was checking things off as we go. I could store that in the app. It was there. It was done. You can set reminders in the app. I didn't really need to use those because I had a routine. Boom, read, workout, take that progress picture. And it is pretty cool to see the different progress in, where the weight comes off, or, what you look like, or your confidence alone in your body as you progress through the program. There was one time where I didn't shower right away. Is probably the day that I didn't do the walk, or I did the walk and not the, strenuous indoor workout first. And that time I think I had to take the progress picture like 11 o'clock a.m. And so that was as close as I got to failure there, because this was something that I absolutely knew was things that trip people up. So I just got it done. Boom, boom, boom. Had 3 things done by 7 a.m. The next is the gallon of water. And this was a little bit difficult for me. This was my water bottle when I started. I still use that throughout. However, at some point in the first week, I got this, which is a half-gallon water bottle. And this allowed me to take the water with me on the run so I could measure it a lot easier. I knew that I had to drink 2 of these per day. And so I was able to do that by measure a lot easier, because I can remember filling this up once and finishing it. But this one, 6.5 times or whatever the number was a little bit difficult. So I was able to do this and measure it that way. And that was a life changer for me. I did leave it at home one day. And so I had to kind of add up. It's almost like I kept the water bottles from the gas stations or whatever to add up the ounces. And that's probably the closest I got to failure. Here was, having to make sure I calculated it. I was very honest and strategic with myself and made sure, if there was a little bit of a, was that 17 ounces or 24 ounces, I would just drink an extra, 22 ounces before I went to bed, just to make sure that I crushed that gallon of water each day. Biggest takeaway here is obviously hydration is a game changer. I was able to hydrate. It moves things through your body. I feel better. The inflammation in my body was completely gone, probably by day 15 to 20. And so the water, I think, is the main culprit of that. You do have to pee a lot. That's a takeaway, I guess, but this is something that I know makes you more healthy. Also, water, when you're feeling like, oh, I need that snack or whatever, I can chug water and hopefully that hunger sensation goes down. So that's the water piece, and a gallon a day is something that you can absolutely achieve as long as you just measure it out. All right, the next thing is follow a diet. My diet was not super specific as far as like you can have, this 6 ounces of protein, whatever. I went to a protein diet, tried to stay as lean as possible. I did have some steaks, but protein only, making sure it's clean, not cooked in butter, that kind of stuff. I eliminated dairy and carbs. For the most part, very limited carbs. I did have some rice with a couple meals, but no, breads or processed, carbs, and then no sugars except for fruit. So natural sugars. So that was kind of my diet. And it was kind of a combination of Whole30 and the Slimgenics diet that I had been on in the past. And it really worked, right? And sometimes you're like, well, is that really a diet? Absolutely, it's a diet. I lost 52 pounds and, felt better in my whole life. I never felt like that. So I was very regimented on that. I was always really dialed in on my portion control, because I know that that's something like I just eat everything on my plate no matter what. So I was able to kind of dial that in. And so that's where it was for me. Less than 50 grams of carbs a day or whatever it was. Really, I just focused on, if I did have a rice or something that was carbohydrate based, I would just have it once in a day. But again, no breads, no processed carbs, and no sugars, and no dairy. So that was something that worked out for me in the end. Changed over to ghee and some of the new options as far as that goes. My wife actually started getting goat milk for the family while I was on 75 hard. I didn't even try that because I felt like that was a dairy. So that was my diet. Hardest part here was the no cheat meals and no alcohol. I always thought that I would try and avoid the alcohol and avoid the parties and all that stuff. The Colorado Avalanche did win the Stanley Cup, which is, my hometown hockey team, while I was here. And I watched every single game and I didn't drink a beer. I went to the parade, didn't have a beer. So that was probably the hardest part for me, is just those social gatherings. My business partners with the Wolfpack came into town a few times. We had some speaking events and, did some epic things, but I was able to, stay on the diet, order the vegetables instead of the, mashed potatoes, no desserts, no old fashions. I sat at several tables over the time because the group is so we have such a good camaraderie. We hang out a lot, we do things together. And so that was really cool for me. But at the end, it was empowering, right? To be around these people who obviously supported me, but I don't care if they drink. Like some people are like, oh, sorry, I'm going to have an old fashioned, or oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to eat this giant piece of chocolate cake in front of you. But it wasn't that. It was more of a challenge for me, like Andy says, by the end, to really stay strict to the code. And then again, another steak dinner, for my anniversary, my 9-year anniversary with my wife was at the very end, day 72 or 3, I think. And so, dialed that in, greens, protein, no bread, and so that was where it was a little bit more difficult, because I love that steakhouse bread. But I was able to change that, and really, like, since I've had like stop signs, right? Like my daughter had cinnamon rolls on her first day of school recently. I wasn't on the program, but I just stuck to my, protein shake for breakfast. And that was really powerful to me to really get to that point. So that was the hardest part with the diet. No alcohol, no cheat meals. That's the next kind of phase. Obviously, I lumped that in. Main takeaway here is that I can control my portions. I can make this a part of my life and make better decisions. And I also can, indulge every once in a while. But if I'm indulging, I need to make sure that I'm getting the workouts in, drinking the water, and making sure I'm not, crushing 6,000 calories in a day or anything like that. Because the honest truth is, what this showed me is my metabolism is not what some of my friends are who can, eat crap all day and weigh 140 pounds soaking wet or whatever. So that's where, that's a realization. It is what it is. Science is science. So that's something that I need to take moving forward. Always earn it, never in excess, never go 3 days just on a binge, eating or drinking deal. And that's something that I'll move forward. And, if I do go to, a conference or something with the buddies, or I go on a fishing trip, there may be a couple days where I don't do this, but if I'm focusing on the water or get a workout in or whatever, but then right when I get back, boom, it's on it. And I know the program, I know how to do it. I know how to clear out my body, say for a week, and then we're right back to where we were. And that's kind of the takeaway from the diet, and that piece to me is kind of my now new lifestyle. All right. And how did this impact my business, real estate business, bringing it full circle? The honest truth is, the Wolfpack, my group, as always, again, if you're interested, please book a call, but you're surrounded with greatness. Mike Sherrard, Louis Galt, who's my sponsor, are literally some of my best friends now. And they both have done this or attempted this. Mike has completed it. Louis, unfortunately, forgot to read because he waited till the end. But that was, kind of my inspiration and kind of kept me going. And they're like, yeah, you can do this. They understood that piece. And so that leadership and, camaraderie that we have as a group, we sell houses, we're real estate agents, but we still have each other's backs, family. We understand that it's a long-term, game, not just the next 75 days. So it was really cool to be a part of that. We spoke at an event while I was on 75 Hard. We're bringing on agents. I like more than ever. I've always been a guy that just, sells 50 houses a year, and that's fine. It's a great income. Now looking towards the future, and my vision towards the future, and being able to help other agents scale their business and succeed and get compensated fairly from that. So if you're interested in that, obviously book a call, the link. And partnering with myself, Mike Sherrard, Louis Galt, and the Wolfpack, that absolutely, is the main takeaway, because I was able to focus in and separate my agent attraction from my production business. But even in the production business, things, we're moving along. The market changed a little bit. We're still selling houses. We're still doing it. We're still helping people. We're still changing lives. And that's something that I think, especially as my agent acceleration really took off during the 75 Hard program, that's when, my production usually would have slipped, but I was able to have the bandwidth to keep both intact. So that's that piece. And here's the deal. Secret number 2, I kind of alluded to it in a couple times. Secret number 2 is absolutely the ability to get half of the stuff done before 7:30 in the morning. So read the book, work out, take the progress picture. I was able to check off 3 of the things, and there was, I think, 7 on the list because the workouts were split. And so I was able to check off 3 of the things by 7:30, Well, the other one was no cheat meal, no alcohol, and follow a diet. I couldn't check that off till I went to bed. And so, and then a second workout. So I was checking off everything I possibly could as soon as I possibly could. And to see that at 7:30 in the morning, oh, you only have 4 more things to worry about all day as far as 75 hard, that was something that was a game changer for me. So, obviously I know people's schedules are different. I think waking up early was something that absolutely changed, but my secret was to check off those 3 things before I started my day, before I started work. And that gave me the confidence to get through the rest of the day. And always remember, got to get that second workout in. That's really the only variable. And just make sure when you're eating, you're not, just grabbing and going. So that was absolutely the piece there. If you would like, a 15-minute consultation on how you can get this and incorporate this into your program, I would absolutely love to chat with you. Book a game plan call with the calendar link below, and we can help you get on the path to success and absolutely crush 75 hard. Thanks so much for tuning in, and stay tuned for episode 3. Like, comment, subscribe. See ya.